December 7, 1941, without warning, the Japanese Imperial Air Force bombed the American naval fleet at Pearl Harbor. It was a sneak attack, taking place while the United States and Japan were having peace talks, and it destroyed almost all of the United States Navy in the Pacific. America and Japan were at war, and nothing, not even the great courage of the outnumbered Americans, could stop the powerful Japanese war machine. But America soon recovered from the low blow. By 1943, the United States was bringing the fight to the Japanese. Hitting back at them in the Solomon Islands in the South Pacific, the Marines captured Guadalcanal and the Army landed on New Georgia. It was the Navy's job to stop the Japanese from bringing in reinforcements and supplies. But the Navy's big ships were guarding convoys all over the Pacific, and so much of this duty was left to the tiny PT boats. The PT boat was a new weapon that American inventiveness brought to naval warfare. An 80-foot wooden ship powered by airplane engines, the speedy little craft would patrol the waters under the cover of darkness and harass the enemy's destroyers and cruisers with its 4 torpedoes and 2 machine guns. Their method of attack was hit and run. Do the damage and get out. On August 1st, 1943, the PT base at Rendova was alerted that the Japs were sending a big naval force into the area. That night, 15 PT boats roared toward Blackett Strait to stop the enemy. The skipper of PT 109 was anxious to meet the foe on his first big mission, and he scanned the darkness for any sign of them. Suddenly, the sound of machine guns and the boom of bombs was heard. Bright orange flashes lit up the sky. The enemy were all around them. A lookout shouted to the skipper, "A Jap destroyer at 2 o'clock. The skipper sounded the alert. "Swing her around and let's give them our torpedoes." As the little PT was turning around, the huge destroyer quickly bore down on her. The skipper shouted for more speed, but as he did so, he was knocked to the deck by a terrific force that shook the entire boat. The steel destroyer had rammed the little wooden boat and split her in 2. The PT's engines were on fire, and burning gasoline floated on the water all around. "Into the water, men!" shouted the skipper. "Don't let them see us!" The destroyer had passed, and the blackness engulfed everything. The skipper swam around the floating part of his ship, trying to find his crew. "On the float, men!" he shouted, and heads popped out of the water, and men scrambled onto the wreckage. "Skipper, skipper!" yelled a man. "My leg's busted and my mate is burned all over." The skipper swam toward the voice and found the 2 sailors. He brought the burned man back to the float, and then he got the man with the broken leg. By now it was daylight, and the skipper checked his crew. 2 men were lost. "We'll swim for that little island, and let's pray we make it." The float was sinking, and everyone jumped into the water. The skipper told the burned man to lie on his back. Then he took one of the straps from the floating man's life jacket, put it between his teeth, and led his battle-torn men toward the island. They did make it, and 6 days later, all the survivors were rescued. For his courageous and heroic efforts in saving his crew, the skipper was awarded the Navy and Marine Corps Medal. This young Navy lieutenant, who skippered PT 109, would one day show this same courage in leading his nation. For his name was John F. Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States of America.